I'm here with Ben Robertson this morning. He's one of the founders and visionaries of this place, this concept of Blackwood. Truly an amazing place, and we're so glad that you have a little time to chat with us here. I know a lot of the viewers are interested. What was the inspiration of this place?
The place was originally a getaway from business in downtown Pittsburgh. So this is about 50 miles away from the home that we had in Pittsburgh. And so we were looking for some land, and we found approximately 16 acres of abandoned farmland in northern Butler County.
And when you say abandoned, I mean it was still forested at that time?
Part of it was forested. So before you even enter where the home is located, you still have to go through 8 acres of woods. And then the farmland probably hadn't been tilled for about 20 years. So you have just a lot of multiflora rose and blackberry bushes, and there was no electricity on the property. But I think the thing that caused us to want to purchase the property were the 2 natural springs which originate on the property.
And they're wonderful, and that's pretty much the primary water source.
That is the water source.
Yeah. So this place is a constant 7-day-a-week job, and over the years I've seen you and Don it's pretty much all day, every day. But the end result is something that's just really inspiring. This I refer to it as it's a sanctuary. It's absolutely serene.
It is a sanctuary. In fact, the house and property can't be seen from the road. You literally have to go through 8 acres of the woods before you can see the property. Yeah. And it is a 7-day-a-week job.
I've seen that over the years. Oh, you work hard. Yeah, I was walking up the driveway the other morning, and the trees some of them are pushing 100 years old. It's a canopy. It's literally just it's a magical place. So what inspired the theater organ? What got you started on that?
Well, probably playing the Hammond organ and moving up the different levels of Hammond organ to a Rogers trio, and then finally hearing some of the theater organs out there. I thought, gee, this would be probably the ultimate instrument, and that was back in the early 80s.
Okay, yeah, because your original house here was magnificent, and then you added the music room, where this organ is now. Right.
We purchased the first 13 ranks, and that came from Cicero's Pizza Parlor in Roseville, Minnesota.
Okay.
And that way we housed that in our barn at that time. And after a few years of concerts, we decided we needed a larger space so that people could actually sit inside the room, because in the barn it was much too loud and we had to open the doors for the concerts. So this way we decided to enlarge the organ and have a facility in case it rained. So this music room, it was a 5-year project because we built it ourselves, as we did all the structures on the property. We didn't hire professional contractors. And so it was a 5-year project because we still had our job running the business that we had as an art gallery and frame shop in Pittsburgh.
Well, and I think you used the word engineered, because so many things here there was a concept, a vision, and then it happened. And I know it happened with a lot of work and a lot of time, but just case in point, this music room has, at least in the United States, I think it's the only retractable door where the organ is on a lift, and if you didn't know that the organ was here, the console's totally out of sight. The oak flooring completely closes up, and we'll have an example of that at some point in this video. But it's just to look at putting that together and making it all work in the right order, it's fantastic.
That was the difficult process, because since there was nothing that we could use designs, because it hadn't been done in the United States, we had to make up our own system of retracting the floor, and so that it fits into the parquet pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an 8-foot section that it actually fits right into the parquet pattern. And and we wanted something theatrical, because the people in this area, northern Butler County, there weren't any theater organs that they could hear. So these people aren't familiar with theater organs. We just wanted something that was very theatrical.
Yeah.
And so we wanted a lift, and we wanted a design like you see here. I saw the console at the Paramount Pizza Palace, and I thought, wow, that will catch people's eye. And so I wanted something like that. And,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the core of the console is a Kimball console with the waterfall. This is really unique. It's a one of a kind.
It is. These were made. This is actually Bondo. It was taken from molds
Mm-hmm.
that Dick Peterson had,
Mm-hmm.
and I cast them and had a cabinet maker make the facade here.
Yeah.
And so
It's just stunning, and it just when the console comes up, it's so shiny. It's so wonderful.
it's all gilded. This
Yeah.
is not gold paint. It's
the real thing.
It's gilded. Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful to play. It's been one of my favorite instruments for. I think I started coming up in 2007.
2007.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and but it's a whole experience. And for those of you who maybe will have the opportunity to maybe see this place, come here and hear the instrument, it's just wonderful. So with the COVID thing, we've all had some real challenges in the last couple of years, and not the least of which is the COVID. And so how's Blackwood been doing?
Well, last year we had to cancel all of our events, and but we have a great core of patrons and friends that actually come here. And so we sent out a newsletter, and we asked them if they would still consider contributing to some of our charities. Well, not only Blackwood Arts, but also we do fundraisers for Make-A-Wish, which we've done for 30 years. And so that's basically one of the reasons why we decided to have concerts. When we originally had the concept of building the music room and putting on concerts, we said it was not going to be for personal, aggrandizement or pleasure for our friends.
Mm-hmm.
Every concert was going to be for the benefit of some charity. And we just happened to have at the gallery one of our customers whose child was a Make-A-Wish recipient and who is still living today. And so that was the inspiration for raising funds for Make-A-Wish. And over the past 30 years, we've raised over $400,000 just because the Make-A-Wish concert is solely the organ, theater
Mm-hmm.
organ concert.
Right.
And so when we sent out our newsletter last year asking them if they would still consider supporting Make-A-Wish, Make-A-Wish ended up with over $19,000 in contributions. And so and then since we were so successful, we thought at that, we decided to begin raising funds for music scholarships for high school students entering college either in music performance or music education.
Mm-hmm.
And that concert is generally the one at the end of the year, which is a dinner concert. We can seat about 70 people in the music room, and it's a catered affair. And over the past 20 years, that's when we began 20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we've raised over $350,000, and that was given to about 100 high school students from around, not only around the area, but we've had them from New York, and Philadelphia, even South Carolina.
Now, you've got people with your website now.
The website,
which is blackwoodArts.org, and we'll have a graphic of that later. You were doing basically video auditions then?
This year we had to do video auditions.
Yeah.
And but one of the requirements is that the students come to a audition. In the past 20 years, it's generally been at Heinz Hall.
Okay.
And members of the Pittsburgh Symphony and professional musicians, instructors and professors from different colleges will act as the adjudicators.
Okay. So this challenging year, you've made it through well. What's your thoughts for the future of Blackwood?
Well, we plan on getting back to concert schedules perhaps later in the year. We're not sure. We still don't know what's happening. And so we go day by day with that. But then next year we're going to continue our normal schedule. Not only do we have theater organ concerts, but we have ragtime piano concerts here. And we do silent film is probably one of the greatest events that we have. It's really, we can fill the room.
Yeah, I've played a few of those. And,
yeah.
It's a great turnout.
We get a really good turnout. So, and then we also have, we think music is so important for young kids that we've sort of adopted the local elementary school, and we bring in 100 fourth grade students for their field trip. They're bussed in, and they sit on the music room floor, and generally an organist who plays in September will stay over for a Monday field trip, and we treat the young kids to an hour's worth of music that they enjoy, but then we also show them a 20-minute comedy, Laurel and Hardy generally. And that brings us to another thing. We heard their band, the fourth grade band, fifth grade band, and we realized they were really in need of musical instruments because they were sorely lacking. And this area, they don't have the money to put into the band. So at one of our dinner concerts, I asked those that were attending if they would pledge some money for musical instruments for the fourth grade and fifth grade band, for the band, essentially the band program. And we raised $20,000 at that dinner concert alone, and that was enough to purchase over 30 some instruments, new instruments. It's essentially a new band for that grade school. Right. And so we continue to we look forward to having the kids back again, hopefully this fall.
That's amazing. I've experienced a couple of the energy in the room when the kids are there, and I think the adrenaline is incredible, and you can just tell. I think some of them for sure, it's a changing experience, and they'll remember it for the rest of their lives for sure. Right. I think anybody who comes here, Ben, will remember this place for the rest of their lives. It's beyond words, it's magical. And I truly thank you for taking some time. I know you've got a list of things you talked about you're going to be doing today, and so to take a little bit of time this morning, thank you.
I appreciate it. Glad to have you here this year.
Thank you. everybody. We are down in the elevator room here at Blackwood, directly below where the music room is. And this behind me is where the console comes down. The gentleman next to me is Jason Wiles. He's the facilities engineer here at Blackwood. He's also the organ technician, and he takes care of properties in western Pennsylvania as well as in Ohio. Anyway, he is responsible for a lot of the engineering on how some of these things sequentially work in the right order. And currently the organ console is up. He's going to bring it down and kind of explain the process of what's going on as that happens. So I'm going to grab the camera and we'll continue on here.
All right, well, let's just quickly go over a couple of things. One is that this elevator, the lift, was actually from the Toledo Paramount Theater originally, and fortunately Ken Crome saved it, and we were able to purchase it from him. In addition to the lift, we actually have a section of floor that will drop down and retract out of the way. So we in effect have a lid in the room, and we've managed to make all this happen with some volunteers and some luck, shall I say. But anyway, let's demonstrate this thing. We'll bring the console down from upstairs. Now what will happen is brake will release. We've got a 3-phase motor that will wind the screw down. Once the console is down all the way, then it hits a couple of proving switches, and that will cause the floor to go into place. So here we go. Once the leading edge has hit the proving switch in the front, then trailing edges are on 2 linear actuators. They'll wind up and the floor will then be in place. And there you have it.
That is amazing every time I see it. Thank you so much, Jason.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Yep.